Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Get Cooking. Today's going to be a particularly fun episode because we get to use some of my favorite toys. My meat grinder, my air fryer, and a cast iron. Now technically you don't need any of these specifically. You could have your butcher grind your meat for you, you could use the oven instead of an air fryer, and you could use just a normal pan instead of a cast iron.
But who's failing now?
We're making burgers. As you can see, we've got a lot of ingredients in front of us today. Because of that, I'm not going to show you them all at once. I'll just let you know when you need them, all right? All right. For the burgers themselves, all you're going to need is some chuck steak, slab bacon or thick cut bacon, buns, salt, pepper. For the sweet potato fries, you're going to need sweet potato, seasonings, olive oil. For your toppings and condiments, you're going to want red onion, jalapeno, pepper jack cheese, pepper, mayo, chipotles and adobo sauce, sriracha. Now, as you can tell by the ingredients, this is going to be a spicy burger. But if you want a traditional burger, go for it. If you want a mushroom and Swiss burger, go for it. And if you don't like bacon,
Stop watching my channel.
whenever you're grinding your own meat, the first thing you want to do is get it nice and firm by putting it in the freezer for about an hour. So we're taking our steak and bacon, putting it in the freezer. While you're waiting for your steak and bacon to firm up, we're going to prep our sweet potato by cutting it into 1/4 by 1/4 inch fries. Now that our sweet potato is prepped, we're going to make a super easy 4-ingredient chipotle mayo. Having a cat is great. Now that all the prep work's done, it's time to get to the fun part.
Grinding.
Now I know when I was cutting up that meat what a lot of you were thinking.
The bacon's too thick.
But that's because I have a little trick that makes an amazing bacon burger. Start by grinding up your bacon. Be careful. Then in a separate bowl, grind up your steak. Make sure your bowl is big enough before recording a video on YouTube. You also want to make sure to clean out your grinder immediately after using it. Nobody wants botulism. Now it's time to make our patties. Start by grabbing about 8 ounces of your ground beef and a couple ounces of your ground bacon. Start by making a ball with the ground beef in your hand. Don't pack it too hard. Then take that ball and form it into a patty. You want it to end up about the size of a burger bun. Go figure. Now this is the twist. You're going to take some of the ground bacon and put it on either side of the burger. I know, next level. Now that you've got bacon on both sides, you're going to want to season it. But remember, bacon is salty, so you're going to need less than normal. The last step in prepping our burger, other than toasting our buns, is going to be roasting your jalapeno and cutting it up. I recommend using a fork and your gas range. Stab your jolly with the fork, turn your heat to high, and roast till black. Now that your jalapeno is nice and charred, you're going to want to put it under a bowl so that the residual heat can keep it cooking. Peel off all the black stuff and cut it into small pieces. I also cut up some onions. If you don't know how to do this, figure it out. Alright guys, it's time to start cooking. I got my buns in the toaster oven and it's time to turn on the heat to my cast iron. Now remember, we put bacon on both sides of our burgers, so we really don't need to add any oil to this. And also, you don't need a cast iron this size, but I definitely recommend using cast iron. You'll also see why I use the small one in a minute. Now is also a good time to turn on any fans, open any doors or windows that you can, because if you live in a small apartment like me, it's going to get a little smoky. Now you're not going to have to cook this for that long because you want that nice medium rare inside. So now's a good time to grab all your toppings and put them right next to you. After about 2 minutes, you're going to want to check onto the first side. It'll only stick if you flip it too early, like I just did. When your buns are nice and toasted, go ahead and put the chipotle mayo on. Once the bacon is nice and crispy, go ahead and put your toppings on. Take your whole cast iron and put it inside your toaster oven so you can melt the cheese. Once the cheese is melted, assemble and enjoy. Now it's time to cook our sweet potato fries. I put 1 portion's worth of sweet potatoes into my air fryer and I'm going to cook it for 4 minutes at 400 degrees on either side. There you have it, guys. A homemade burger with fresh ground meat, roasted jalapenos, homemade chipotle mayo, homemade sweet potato fries, onions, and pepper jack cheese. Go out and make one. Oh, dude. That's so good. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.